Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Forgotten Generation podcast, hosted by Troy Njenje Mbanga. This podcast is about amplifying young people's voices and the journeys they're on. This episode, I am joined by Nickolas, who is a first young ambassador for UK youth and a British racing driver. Would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners?
Hi Troy, thanks for having me. Like you said, I'm Nickolas Ellis and I'm 19 years old. I'm originally from the Isle of Man, but I moved to Cambridge in 2023 to pursue my dream to become a professional racing driver. And like you said, alongside that dream, I've been fortunate enough to be the first young ambassador to UK youth, and that has grown, and I'm now ambassador for the sport, both on and off the track, and I'm also recently an ambassador to the Just Dream movement.
Oh, that's amazing. And it's so good to have you on today's episode. And so we'll start with the question, what is your youth social action? As I know you do racing. And is that like a passion?
Well, racing's my dream, and it's my profession that I want to be. But in terms of my social action, I've always been brought up by my parents to give back. And when I started racing, I had this opportunity to do good. And that's when I became an ambassador for UK youth. But that has grown massively. And now, like I said, I'm an ambassador for this Just Dream movement, which is all about giving young people this safe space to dream and to give them the tools to make it a reality. So my mum and I have created these workshops where we work with these young people to give them that safe space and to give them those tools. And together with her experience of being a consultant management coach and mindfulness coach, we have worked together with our expertise to create these workshops that deliver exactly that. And we've even been extremely fortunate to work with a local charity in Cambridge called Inspire to Ignite, who work with young people all the way up to ages 24. And they work with people who are not in employment, who don't have education, and who are not in training of any kind. So it's been incredibly rewarding to work with those people and to see them start their dreams. And what else has been incredibly rewarding is to just see my mum's dream of not only giving her children a safe space to dream, but as many young people as possible. And to see this turn into a global movement has just been so nice to see. So my social action kind of came from following my dream, and I think if anyone follows their dream, they can make a massive impact too.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I love that. And I love how your dream became a reality for you. And I think it's just so amazing and the work that you do, but also your mum do in helping young people follow their dreams, follow their paths and where they want to go. I think it's just so remarkable and incredible social action that you do.
Thank you.
And so, what made you inspired to have a voice in your journey and to be who you are and today?
Well, for me, like I said, my inspiration came from my parents, my mum and my dad. They've always brought me up to give back where I can. So, like I said, when I finally had that opportunity, we started to search for charities that I could support. And when we found UK Youth and we saw that Nigel Mansell was the president, it just really inspired me. And when we dig deeper and saw that their mission was to empower young people, it just felt like a fit, and it was just so cool, and it really inspired me, and I just love their mission. I think what also inspires me is when people follow their dreams with good intentions and they give back to their community.
I love that response. I just love and give back to community, but also your parents. I just think that's just amazing. And so, what has been the one barrier you face as a young person and making that difference in your community and why?
For me, my biggest barrier is my time management between my racing career and my social action with Just Dream and my ambassadorship to UK Youth. But I've been fortunate enough to be given tools by my mum to help me with those time management. And those are tools that we deliver in the Just Dream workshop. And they're tools that we want to give to as many young people as possible. But although it's a barrier, I love the challenge and it's really rewarding. And I just have so much fun doing it.
I'm glad you're having fun, even though you had that barrier. So having fun on what you do and just making that impact so incredible. What are the issues you think young people are facing right now? And what do you think as decision makers, government, ministers need to do better in supporting young people's voices?
For me, I think big issues are the pressure to know what to do. I mean, it is completely fine to not know what to do, and I don't even think adults know what they're doing half the time. But I think a deeper issue within that is not having that safe space to dream. And I think decision makers and professionals just they need to show that anything is possible no matter your circumstances and give you that safe space to dream. And that's what the Just Dream workshops are all about, is just giving you that safe space. But I think a final challenge is community. I really struggled to find a community when I moved here in 2023. Because racing took up a lot of my times on the weekend, or sometimes throughout the weekday, and any free time I had was spent working, so I had the free time for racing. So I really didn't have any friends in my first 2 years of school, but ever since I started working as an ambassador to UK Youth and the Just Dream movement, I've managed to meet really cool people. I mean, like yourself. I'm just so excited to be here. Thank you. But I get to meet all these friends that I've made through my social action work. And I think as long as you follow your dream, you start to build that community of like-minded people around you and you start to feel safe around them. But it all just comes from not having that safe space to dream. So when you have that safe space, you just get to make so many cool friends.
Exactly. And you meet so many people that you might not even know
Yeah.
about you could be friends with because with social action and community, you kind of and build like a family together. You kind of follow your own dreams and you follow your dreams and you can still make a big impact in your community even though you're doing racing. You can still really create that meaningful change. So going off other questions, and I would love to know more about your racing journey. Like what have you been up to with it recently?
Well, recently, I've been a bit in the dark, but stuff has been happening in the background, don't worry. So I started really late to racing. I started at 14 when a lot of people started around the age of 6. But I started karting, I did 2 years of that, and then I moved into cars in 2023 when I moved here, late 2023. And I raced Janetta Juniors, which are like small, very small cars made for people 14 to 17. And I raced that for about a year in 2024. And I was fortunate enough to be able to do one race in a Formula 4 car, which for me, that was a dream. Like to race in a single seater, that was one of my biggest dreams that I've had ever since I had this dream of racing. So to do that has been amazing. But since then, I spent a year off to focus on my education and to do my A levels. But once my A levels were done, I went on to do a race at Le Mans. It was a 6 hour race and it was my first time doing the race for about a year. Hadn't raced for a year in September and it was chaotic. I had the best time and I completed another dream of mine to compete at Le Mans. But not only did I complete my dream, I far exceeded my dream. I won there, which was just extraordinary feeling to finally win a race in my career. A lot of challenges, a lot of setbacks came from it, but it just shows it's the journey. You know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But I loved it. And then I did another 2 races, one of which I had to retire the car at risk of crashing. But the other one was amazing. I got a podium place, just amazing. I'm working with a team called Trajectus Motorsport, whose team manager is a 3-time Le Mans winner and a World Endurance Championship, and it's an amazing thing to harness everything I can know from him, all his experience. It's just been epic. So there's exciting things to come in 2026, and I look forward to sharing them with you on social media.
And I'm sure our listeners will be tuning into that and seeing what you get up to as you've done so much incredible stuff with your racing. And even though you kind of had a bit of a break to focus on your A levels, still have come back even better
Yeah.
and you've managed to win something which I think is just so remarkable and that following your dreams, never giving up. I've seen your and you're racing pictures on Instagram, and I'm thinking, this is incredible. Like, you're doing great because you're following your dreams, you're following what you want to do. And I think that's what I think a lot of young people should be doing, following your dreams and following on what you want to do and not worrying about on what other people think you should be doing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What would be your advice to a young person wanting to create change but don't know how to?
I mean, it all comes from following your dreams. I mean, you never know where it's going to lead you. I never knew it would lead me to this conversation with you. I never knew that trying to follow my dream to become a professional racing driver would lead me to become an ambassador to UK youth. But it's completely fine if you don't know where you want to go, because I think you can create a vision board, which is where you have a blank corkboard in front of you and you put all your intentions and your goals that you want to achieve on it. But if you don't know what your goals and intentions are, that's completely fine. I mean, you just got to look through your day at what inspires you. You know, is it a quote? Is it a dream job? You know, are you reading a magazine and do you see something that just speaks to you? You put that on your board and all of a sudden you have something to work towards. You have something to motivate you. You have your goals and you can reverse engineer a way to achieve that goal, but you've gone from nothing to something and you didn't even know it. And that's one of the tools that we use in the Just Dream workshop and something we like to share with everyone. So I think if you don't know how to make that change, I think definitely start a vision board and you'll start to have an idea of what change you want to make.
I think it's so important. And I think like such amazing advice on a vision board, and I really hope listeners can take away on what you said. To close this episode is, what would be a Forgotten Generation podcast quote and to sum up your journey altogether?
It's a quote I've just said. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Because for me, like I said, I started late in racing and now I'm winning races and doing the best I can. But also, if you even think about a vision board, you know, you start from nothing, literally nothing on your board. It's a blank board. But maybe at the end of a year, it's just got all this color, all this vibrancy. You've got all these goals, all these intentions that you want to do. And maybe even a few years down the line, you've completed some of these goals. And these goals have literally come from nothing. So for me, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to be taking that away with me. Like, and going forward this year and really thinking about that. And just thank you so much, Nickolas, for coming on to today's episode and really highlighting your dreams, but also the work that you do in your social action, but also following your racing dream and telling us about it, as I'm sure listeners will be loving hearing about it, because I think it's so refreshing to hear about someone's dreams and someone's following it. You inspire change.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing and I've loved every second of it.
Your organisation, like you said, about that workshop in the description of this episode as well.
Would it be possible to ask you a question?
Yes, go on, you can ask me a question.
What's your dream?
Oh, my dream is to actually make something positive in my social action. Is to build a community that really resonates with my journey, but can also inspire others to have a voice. And that includes this show to really and empower change, but also feel less forgotten, but feel like your voice matters and that you belong in this space.
That's amazing. And I definitely think that dream is coming true.
Oh, thanks so much, Nickolas. Thank you. Thanks for listening to the podcast episode. This is a Be the Change Media Network production. Please support the podcast by subscribing and rating the podcast. I'd love to hear what you like and what could be better for future episodes. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram and @Troy, and also on X _Troy. Tune in to next week's episode.